Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is the 14th tutorial in this course, and in this tutorial we are going to talk about associative arrays in PHP. So I've got a file opened up in my text editor. It's called assoc_arrays, has the extension .php, and in the file I have the opening PHP tag on line number 6, the closing PHP tag on line number 16, and between the tags I have some PHP code. Now before we check out the code, let's first understand what associative arrays are and how are they different from normal arrays. So in a normal array in PHP, you would have numbers as indices, and you would have some values, and the values could be of different data types, right? And we checked out an example of a normal array in the last tutorial. An associative array has keys as indices, and it has corresponding values. And you can think of an associative array as a dictionary. An associative array is similar to a dictionary in the sense that in dictionaries you have word meaning pairs as individual items. In an associative array, you have key value relationships as individual items, right? So let's say you want to create an address book or a phone book in which you want to store names of people and also their email addresses or maybe their cell phone numbers as well, right? So the way you can do that is by using the array function and by having name as a key and email as a key, and the values can be the names of people and the email addresses of people, right? So let's check out how we do this first, and then we're going to see how we can fetch values from an associative array. So on line number 7 in this file, I have created a variable called ARR, and I've then used the array function, and within parentheses I first have the key name, and since name is a string, I'll have to enclose it within double quotes. Then I have the equal to symbol or the assignment operator and the greater than symbol, and there doesn't have to be a space between these two characters. They have to be used in conjunction. And then within double quotes I have attached a string value to this key, right? So let's say I want to store John's name first, so I have typed in John, and again, since John is a string, I have to enclose it within double quotes. Now let's say you also want to store the email address of John, so to do that I'll have to create another key value relationship. So the next key is going to be email, and since this is also a string, it's enclosed within double quotes, and I have the same pattern of characters used to supply the value to the email key, that is the equal to symbol and the greater than symbol. And then within double quotes I have the email address for John, which is john@gmail.com. I have the closing parentheses for the array function, and then I have the semicolon to terminate the statement, right? On line number 8 I have used the echo statement to fetch the name of John from my associative array ARR. And I have first typed in the string name and email, and then I've used the concatenation operator followed by the array variable name, which is $ARR, and then within square brackets, instead of specifying a numeric index the way we did in the last tutorial, I have specified the keys. So to get the name of John, I have specified John within double quotes in square brackets after the variable name ARR, and to get the email address I have specified email within double quotes and square brackets after the variable name ARR. So let's check out the output of this file till this point before we discuss the rest of the code in it. So the name of the file is assoc_arrays.php, and there we go. We see that the name is John and the email is john@gmail.com, right? On line number 10 I have created another associative array, and this one has two associative arrays as 2 items in it, right? So it's not that you can have just one associative array in an array. In the last tutorial we checked out how we can have arrays as elements in arrays. It's also possible for us to have more than one associative arrays used to form one associative array, right? So I've used the array function, and then within the parentheses I have another array function, and this one has the same key value relationships as I had for the $ARR variable. So I have John as the name and john@gmail.com as a value for the email key, and then I have put in a comma, and I have another array function to create another associative array, this one with the same keys. So I have name and email as the keys for this array too, but I have different values. So I have Jack as the value for the name key in this array, and I have jack@gmail.com as the value for the email key in this array, right? And then on line number 12, I have used the echo command to see the value that's there in the name key for the associative array that has the index position 1 in this entire array, right? So this happens to be the first item in the array myarr, so that's why its index position is 0, and this one happens to be the second item, so its index position is 1, and so on and so forth. You can have as many as you want. You know, you could even have 1,000 such arrays within one array, and you could access each of those using different index numbers. So the way we did for normal arrays in the last tutorial, we're going to have to use 2 pairs of square brackets. The first one is going to contain the index position, and the second one is going to contain the index position or the key in the associative arrays, right? So if you want to see the name of John, you'll first have to type in 0 within the first pair of square brackets, and in the second pair of square brackets you'll have to type in the name of the key, which is name, and that has to go within double quotes. And to see the email address, you'll have to first type in 0, and then within the second pair of square brackets you'll have to type in email within double quotes. And similarly for the second item, that is for the row for Jack, you'll have to type in 1 in the first pair of square brackets for both name and email, right? So when we see the output of this file, we see John's name and John's email address, and then we see Jack's name and Jack's email address, and they all appear on different lines because I've used the break tag as a string argument to the echo statement on almost each line, right? So that's it about associative arrays. In the next tutorial, we're going to check out some functions in PHP for arrays, and I hope you guys had fun watching this tutorial. And it was, I guess, a little exhaustive because we discussed too many things, and in case you have any doubts, please feel free to message me. You can email me, or you can even leave comments on the video, and I'll try to reply back as soon as possible. And I'll see you in the next video. You may subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and take care.